Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am NIK NIKAM. Today I'm going to look at the technical indicators for March 8, 2021, as far as QQQ stock is concerned. So we're going to be looking at three different indicators, namely the slow stochastics, MACD, and RSI, and see how they can help us identify either overbought or oversold situations to identify, and also to identify a change in the trend from bullish to a bearish swing. This was the price. This is a 5-day 15-minute chart of QQQ, and this was actually Friday when we noticed a good, nice upswing, suggesting maybe we had hit a bottom of the QQQ correction that has been going on since February 16th. Maybe that is just wishful thinking. We'll find out in the next couple of days if that has hit the bottom, or we have to wait for the second shoe to drop, as they say in stock market. Anyway, let's look at and see which one of these, the slow stochastic, MACD, or RSI, would help us to identify the turning points in the stock prices. For example, we had an upswing here, then we had a downtrend. Here's an uptrend, here's a downtrend, and this is a nice uptrend we saw on Friday, March 5th. Here's a turning point, and this is SS slow stochastic, and this is MACD, and this is RSI. Just to give you briefly, we are looking for the turning point where the short-term moving average crosses over the long-term moving average. And it's a similar principle here along with the histogram, and RSI, the relative strength index, looks at a different parameter altogether. So if you look at, this is a turning point here, and the indicator still doesn't show whether this is crossing over. This is the point where we would like to see, and so it is coming on the next 15-minute period. And let's see here. Here you see for the changes in the histograms and also the crossover, this is sort of a lagging indicator, because by the time you get here, more than half of the price change has already occurred, and whereas here this is at 50.7, but generally if you see this at like 70%, that's an indication it is overbought. But nonetheless, when we are not sure, I think looking at all three of these indicators would give us some idea as to have we reached a turning point. That's the main thing. Based on this, I think this lags behind. The RSI has sort of helped us a little bit, but not really like the way we would like to see. It reached a 70% level, but that's what it is. And if you look at the next one, see, even the overbought was here like 83 cent, but here it's even less. Again, we have to know the waveform, which can be explained on the Elliott wave principle. But here the crossover is on the second red candle, and here you look for the changes in this one, and again this is lagging a little bit, and the RSI, these are not helping. But if you look at the significant change, that's when the market took a bullish turn. All of these three indicators are giving signal, and here it reached slow stochastic. It is like 6.2, which is way at the oversold level, and it is crossing over here on the right candle. And here we have also crossing over, but it's a little bit lagging, and the RSI also helped us. So if we have all three indicators pointing in the same direction, and they are in the extremes of these charts, that's a pretty good signal that we are going to see a good turnaround in the signal. Okay, that's what happened Friday. And on Friday, before the market close, this is what we have here. Well, the stochastic already reached like 92% before several bars. So the stochastic helped us, but they can stay like this for hours or days. So the slow stochastic can stay like this for hours and days. So the slow stochastic is helping us a little bit, but it is telling us it is overbought. And let's look at MACD. MACD, we still have wide gap here. We want the convergence. The terminology of this MACD is moving averages. These are exponential moving averages, convergence and divergence, which signal a change in trend. Like here, this change in trend. Similarly, change in trend. So we still have space here. So even this is not helping us to say if this is ready to take a turn to the downside. That is, we are talking about today's market action. Whereas if you look at the RSI, the relative strength index, it had already hit a top at 65%, and it hit a second top, which is 64%. So this is getting close to giving a signal for a change in the trend. So this is at the top, and this still hasn't shown a change. As I said, this lags a little bit behind the other two. And these two are looking, all these three parameters, I feel like we probably have reached a short-term top as far as price is concerned, as reflected by stochastics. MACD has not really given an indication. As I said, these lines have to converge. For example, like here, they're coming down here and they're converging. So this is helping, but it is so you miss half the action if you just rely on MACD. Whereas RSI gave a signal around the same time as the slow stochastic. The point I'm trying to make is, like when it's like traveling from one city to another. When you're leaving town, you need more directions. That is, for example, when you're leaving town, you need more directions how to get into the main street. Once you get into the main street, 500 miles, you can just put it on autopilot and it will keep on going. When you enter a new town, then things get a little cluttered. Again, then we have to pay attention. As you can see, as it was coming down here, there was no issue. And again, as far as RSI is concerned, we have to make sure that we see the second dip. That's where you really make a turn signal. That's where you recognize a turn signal. So if this didn't help us here, the RSI really was just waiting for a couple of bars would have given this right signal, where the second time it dips below the 30% lower range and maybe help us to identify a change in the direction. I hope this has been useful to you, and we'll see what happens today, that is March 8, 2021. If this is a new wave, this is one. Unless it's a correction wave for the big drop we have seen, then we're going to see A, B, C. But if this is a new trend altogether, this is wave one, then we expect to see today ABC or part of ABC, and we'll see how it's going to turn out. Thank you so much, and please do subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.